Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic Less Known Classics. This is episode number 2399 and Doubleshot number 2293. Yes, the very next episode is episode 2400. So, for this episode, we're reviewing the, I think as far as I can tell, the last Epic Collection of Wolverine to be released. Well, in volume-wise. We have Wolverine Epic Collection Volume 13, Blood Debt. And you're thinking, wait a minute, that looks like Rob Liefeld's artwork. Because it is. Yes, seriously. Rob Liefeld drew some issues of Wolverine. If you're going to ask me why the heck did he draw issues of Wolverine, I think he explained in his podcast that he just really wanted to do it because he just wanted to stay good terms with Marvel because of basically of Deadpool, obviously. Yeah, and this is a very, very brief run. How brief is it? Just a small handful of issues. Yeah, seriously, it is just a few issues. It's basically, he does issues 154. He basically does 154 to 157 of this very book. Now, this book does collect, issues 150 to 158, annual 999, and Wolverine the Origin 1 through 6. I am not going to discuss Wolverine New Origin because I've discussed the book already, so not going to discuss it again. You have these are the writers: Mark Andrego, Steven Struce, Rob Liefeld, Eric Stevens, Joe Pruitt, Paul Jenkins, Bill Jemas, and Joe Quesada. Walter McDaniel, Steven Struce, Rob Liefeld, Ian Churchill, Sonny Lee, Andy Kubert, and Muslim Fruso. Now, the main issues themselves came on the period of May of 2000 to January 2001. The first thing we have in here is the annual, where you have basically Wolverine versus Deadpool. And Deadpool with Liefeld not involved with it? Yeah, that's most what it is. It's an annual done by Walter McDaniel. The artwork is, but the writing's done by Mark Andrego. I'm thinking, wait, Mark Andrego, didn't he do Batwoman and some stuff for Dynamite? Yep. This book came out in 99. It's a very strange thing. Just basically just these two guys fighting each other a lot throughout this whole annual. And that was just the opening story. The second story is just basically called Beer Run. Just basically Wolverine run for beer. I do like the artwork for this one. And then we move on to issue 150. I kind of forgot this one did have a Revolution cover. This started the Blood Debt story. Blood Debt was started with issue 152 and wrapped up with 153. This is the Steven Struce story. It's most of it basically Wolverine tying up a loose end with, of course, Marco, because she died, and we have Yuriko in the story too. This storyline is really good, and we also have the Silver Samurai, Marco's half brother, which for some reason one version of him being Marco's husband, which, ew. Yeah. But this book is a lot of fun. Also, you might notice something different with Wolverine. His claws are silver. Well, that's because what happened in the Age of Apocalypse in the storylines The Shattering, The Gathering, and Age of Apocalypse. Basically, Wolverine got about the adamantium and the skeleton thanks to Apocalypse having his people take it out of Sabretooth and put in Wolverine. Now, my guess is probably the reason why that they switched from they did this. My guess because it may run its course, having Wolverine have no adamantium in his body. Which lasted for a few years, excuse me. So, they probably felt as though it was probably time for him to go back to classic Wolverine. And just by sheer coincidence, at the end of this trade here, just about a few years later, the book gets relaunched, #1. So, they're probably prepared for it. And it's mostly just a follow-up with the Yoshida group, the Yoshida family. That's mostly what the story arc is. It's a really good story arc. I gotta hand it to the writer of this book. It's just so good. Even though he's only on here for 4 issues. Yep. Only for 4 issues. And the storyline itself gets wrapped up with issue 153. And here's the thing about the storyline. Despite the covers, Wolverine wears a suit. In the book, nope. Wolverine has no costume. Yeah, t-shirt and jeans. All 4 issues. Now, I'm not sure whose it was, but a lot of the time Wolverine would not wear his costume. And then Liefeld comes in from 154 to 157. Come here just for a few short issues. Yeah, and he actually has Wolverine in his costume. And because, whoa, Liefeld's here. You know what that means? Deadpool! Yep, Deadpool's here. And he's here for a few issues. I kind of like these issues. I kind of think these issues were a lot of fun. I know some people are not a fan of Rob Liefeld per se, but I found these issues to be a lot of fun. Yep, it's standard Liefeld stuff. We even guest appearance by Spider-Man. Now, Wolverine looks great under Rob Liefeld's artwork. I believe this is him. I think it's Andy Kubert. Now, actually, it's Ian Churchill. Yeah, this is Ian Churchill. Yeah, and this is Ian Churchill Spider, which actually looks really cool. Yeah, and like I mentioned, it's only just a few issues, and then Liefeld's gone. Yeah, by 157, he's done with the book. Yep, and then for the last 2 issues, mostly put is basically Joe Pruitt doing the writing. And yeah, Wolverine in his costume, which is awesome. Yep. It's mostly put Wolverine versus Zart, and yeah. He takes him on here for a couple issues, and that's basically it. Yeah. There's not really much to these 2 issues per se, but that's the book in a nutshell. Because I'm not discussing Wolverine Origin, because I've discussed that already. So I'm going to give Wolverine Epic Collection 9.5 out of 10. It's just really good here. Next up, oh boy. We're talking about the 2nd volume of The Spectacular Spider-Man Countdown by Paul Jenkins and Bert Ramos. Collecting issue 610 of the series. What happens over the course of these 5 issues? It's Spider-Man versus Dr. Octopus 5 issues. Yeah, that's literally what these 5 issues are. Spider-Man basically, seeing Dr. Octopus first time in a while. He gets a new look for him, which he got this black coat. And he gets reunited with Mary Jane Watson in this storyline here. And that's really it. Aside from that, there's not a lot that happens over the course of these 5 issues alone. Yep, and if you're curious, am I getting close to that very famous storyline? Oh, not by a long shot. I won't be there for a little while. Yeah, it actually happened. Let's see. What happened in the next trade here? No. Not for 2 more trades after this one. That's where the really famous issue comes in. Yep. Yeah, that'll be volume 4 for this book. Not really much else to say here for this one. It's okay. I think Apartment Armor is interesting to say the least. But we have like 4 more trades left, and then we're done with Spectacular Spider-Man Volume 2, which means I got Volume 1 to do. Yep. So I got that to do. And that's pretty much it to discuss here. Yep. I'm going to end it here because, like, the Wolverine that was going to talk about Spectacular Spider-Man, not a lot to talk about this one. Not really. Oh, they have this weird thing in this issue where Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus like, oh, you come here once every 13 days. Well, it's implied that the bridge he's going to is the bridge where Gwen Stacy died, which has been contradicting exactly what bridge it was. Some say it was the Brooklyn Bridge, the Manhattan Bridge, or the George Washington Bridge. Who knows? Okay, so that's pretty much a particular view. Tomorrow, probably Doctor Who, and maybe a couple comic corners. Okay, next video. Bye.